call the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals for Wednesday, May 21st, 2014 to order. Can we have a roll call?
Mr. Armstrong? Ms. Chester?
Here.
Ms. Harwood?
Here.
Ms. McLaughlin?
Here.
Ms. Utzman? Mr. Wurmbrand? And Mr. Welch.
Here. I believe we have a quorum. Would anyone who may desire to give testimony please stand? Do you swear that any testimony you give will be fair and accurate to the best of your belief? Thank you. Are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay, can we have approval of the minutes of the April 16th, 2014 meeting, which I believe were sent to everyone? It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes.
Who seconded? Thank you.
Thank you. By roll call as well? No. All right.
I think it's a hand vote.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. That motion is approved. Are there any written communications?
No.
So we have the continued public hearing?
Nope.
No? All right, then. We'll move on to the new public hearings then. And the first hearing on our docket is case number ZBA-2014-MN-1. And we'll have a staff report.
All right. This is a request for a minor variance to build an addition, a sunroom that would encroach no more than 4 feet 2 inches into a required front yard of a duplex at 1818 Anderson Street. Let's see, the addition would encroach into the front yard along the Evergreen Circle side of the property. Taking a look at the property, the site, it's a duplex. There's 2 units, north and south, 1816 and 1818 on the south. The area is mostly single-family homes, although there are some duplexes along Anderson directly south of the subject property. Taking a look at zoning, most of the properties around it are zoned R1, but the duplexes and other properties on Anderson are zoned R3, which is single and 2-family. Taking a look at the comprehensive plan, it shows a residential suburban pattern for this area. It's a well-established pattern in this area. Okay. So let me pull up this site plan. So the plan is to replace an existing patio, which is fenced off. Replace that with a sunroom. Let me actually pull up the photo here. So you can see in the photo the house or the duplex is set pretty far back from the street, and this patio is set back several feet as well, almost 30 feet from the edge of the street. But if you look at the pattern of the house where it is on the lot, it's actually the proposed sunroom would encroach into the required yard. On this part of the street, the required yard is based on the average of required yards along the court here, Evergreen Circle. And those 3 yards have an average of about 16 feet 8 inches. So the proposed duplex sunroom would encroach to within about 12 feet 6 inches, which is a 25% variance, which would be a minor variance which Zoning Board of Appeals can approve tonight. Let's see, it's a 12-foot by 16-foot addition, which is being proposed here, basically just over the existing patio. I mentioned the lot, or the house is kind of oddly placed on the lot. It's not quite square with the property lines on the west and the north. You can see it's actually got a much wider lot, or wider setback on the north side than it does on the south. And it's just barely has any setback along the east side. So the irregular shape of the lot is one of the reasons we're recommending approval of this variance. Turning to our variance criteria, the first criteria, the variance will not serve as a special privilege because the variance is necessary due to special circumstances relating to the land or the structure. And as I mentioned, the configuration of the lot and the width of the adjacent right-of-way are factors that contribute to the need for the variance. The north yard is 23 feet, but the south yard is only 19 feet from the property line. And then there's an additional 15 feet of parkway, which is public property here. So well, when you look at the photo, it looks like there's a lot of room in their yard. Actually, only a portion of this is private property, which is why they're requesting to encroach into the required yard. Second criteria, the variance is not a result of a situation or condition having been knowingly created by the petitioner. This duplex has been on this property for a long time, and actually the patio itself there has been in that location at least since 1973, as we discovered on the aerial photographs. So that's prior to the petitioner's creation. The variance will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood. Neighbors are used to seeing a structure there. It's a fence. It's going to become a sunroom, and it's set back pretty far from the street, so it really won't alter the character of the neighborhood. Same goes for the fourth criteria. The variance will not cause a nuisance to adjacent property. It'll just be a little protrusion from the house. It's not going to cause any disturbance to the neighbors. The variance represents the minimum derivation from the requirements of the zoning ordinance necessary to accommodate the request. They are just requesting to turn this existing patio area into a sunroom, and they're not asking for anything more than what they've already been having, so it's generally the minimum variation. So those are the criteria. Options today: zoning board could approve the variance as requested. You may approve the variance along with certain terms and conditions, or you may deny the variance request. If you choose to deny, please state the findings for the denial. Staff recommendation, based on the evidence we've had, is for the zoning board to approve the minor variance, subject to the following conditions. The addition shall not extend or shall not exceed the 12-foot by 16-foot footprint as shown in the application and on the on the exhibit here. And the applicant, Susan Farner, is here today. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer questions for staff.
Are there any questions for staff? Okay, go ahead.
Is there a door in the sunroom to the outside?
Yes, you can see it here in the photo. There is a door. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a question for the petitioner.
Thank you. We'll now hear from the petitioner. We ask that you sign in
Okay.
there as well. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the board for your time and consideration of this project. As to your question, the door that is there now will remain. We're going to start the sunroom on the east side of that outside door, and then the sunroom itself will have an outside door, yes.
Is there anything else you wish to state?
Well, we appreciate the time that everybody's put into this, and it's been an interesting learning experience for us. And we hope that, you will approve this. We have talked to most of our neighbors, and they all seem to think that it won't be a problem, and we've kind of checked out to make sure it doesn't block the stop signs or anything going through the neighborhood.
Are there any additional Go ahead.
Are you gonna keep it looks like you have like nice landscaping around the
Right.
fence. Is that, you're gonna keep that too?
Yeah,
or-
well, we're not exactly sure how much of it will be disturbed.
Yeah, that's
but
what I was thinking.
my sister lives on that side of the house, and yes, there will definitely be landscaping around it.
Mhm.
We're just trying to figure out what will be best with the lighting with the new room. But
Um,
yes, it will definitely be landscaped.
And one thing I didn't understand from the drawings was how high it is, like the roof line. I was
Oh, and
not real clear on that.
I don't know if
There
I
was one picture that
know exactly,
was
but,
kind of hard to, was this actually what it was gonna look like?
right,
Okay.
right. And so we have to cut into our main roof to get the roof line to come
Mm.
down.
I get it.
But it's not going to be very much above where our roof line is now.
Mm.
It's not like 20 feet tall or anything.
Yeah, it was just hard, it looked very large.
Right, but
I couldn't
I
quite
really,
I know, I just can't quite tell from that.
I can't tell you exactly what the rise is on the roof.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm asking in relation to the existing house, so.
Well, let's see, I would assume it's not going to be all that much because the existing house, the ceilings must be 10 feet, and that's basically what it's going to be with the peaked roof
Mhm.
on it.
Yes.
It's a pretty standard sunroom. Kramer's building it, and it's pretty standard for, we're not trying to do anything outlandish with it at all. We just want someplace to sit when it's raining and snowing outside. Right, right.
Any additional questions? Thank you, Ms. Farner.
Thank you.
Is there any additional comments from staff?
The petitioner mentioned she talked to her neighbors. We did send out the notice to all of the neighbors within 250 feet, and nobody contacted us with any objections.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? And I believe we're ready to call this for a motion and a vote.
I move that we approve the minor variance as requested, variance ZBA 2014 MIN-01, with the condition that the footprint of the sunroom not exceed the 12 by 16 foot plan in the application.
It's been moved. Do we have a second to that motion? It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? We have a vote then, please.
Ms. Chester? Ms. Harwood? Ms. McLaughlin?
Yes.
Mr. Cornbread?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
Yes. That motion then carries unanimously. Congratulations.
Thank you all very much. We appreciate it.
The next listed hearing is the one carried over from last month.
Yes,
And we
and they're asking to carry it over again.
We have to call that up and vote again, right, like we did the last time?
Well, the case has been opened, I guess just state that it's still open and then have a motion to continue it.
Okay, and we don't have to vote on it because that's what we did last time, but that was the first time, I guess. So it's different.
Yeah, I don't think there's a vote required today.
All right. Okay, the next item of business is in case ZBA dash 2014-C-03, and I believe petitioner desires that be continued. Is that correct?
Yes,
Staff?
yes, sir.
Is there any objection to that? Then, without any objection, that case will be continued to the June meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals.
Yes, sir.
Is there any other old business? Any new business? We have no audience, so there's no audience participation. Is there any additional staff report?
I can let you know that the case you saw last month, 907 Fairview, was heard by the City Council and was approved to allow that addition to extend into the required front yard of that business. And that's it.
No study session? I believe that then satisfies all business pending before the board. Is there a motion to adjourn? It's been moved and second. All in favor say, signify by aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? This meeting is then concluded. Thank you.